Be me, not here for hope. Here because brain won't stop looping the same thoughts. 3 a.m. energy where sleep feels optional and exhaustion feels permanent. Stare at the forum page forever. Cursor blinking. Don't even know what to say. Type anyway because the alternative is letting it rot in my skull. Write the truth. I'm tired. Not my legs hurt, tired. Just tired of existing like this. Hover over post, expecting the usual. Silence. Maybe a random troll, maybe nothing at all. Hit post anyway. Lean back in chair like I didn't just expose my throat to strangers, already rehearsing how it'll feel when nobody answers. Few minutes pass. Refresh. New reply pops up. No emojis. No, it gets better. No, have you tried going outside? No unsolicited life hack TED Talk. Just words plain and steady. I don't know what you're going through, but I'm glad you wrote this. You don't have to be strong here. Read it twice, read it a third time. Feel something stupidly physical in my chest, like my ribs loosened 0.5 millimeter. Type back carefully. Thanks. I wasn't sure anyone would answer. Her response comes quick. I answer when people sound like they need someone to listen. That's it. No name, no bio, no follow me on socials. Just a username and calm on the other side of the screen. Realize I'm talking to a person who isn't trying to fix me. We don't talk about solutions. She asks small questions instead. Harmless questions that somehow go straight through the armor. How did your day go? Did you eat? What helped, even a little? And I answer. Tell her things I've never said out loud. Things I didn't even know I was carrying until someone asked gently. Somewhere in the middle of it, I notice something uncomfortable. I'm breathing easier. Before I log off, she writes, I'll be around tomorrow too. You don't have to disappear. Stare at that line forever. Type one word back because that's all I can manage. Okay, shut laptop. Fall back onto bed. Nothing magically fixed. Life still exactly the same shape. But the room doesn't feel as empty. Not for the first time in weeks. Don't know who she is. Don't know where she lives. Don't know her real name. Just know an anonymous girl on a quiet forum stayed with me. And somehow. That was enough. Next night comes. Half expect yesterday was a fluke. Open forum anyway. She's there. Then she's there the next night. And the one after that. Conversations don't start heavy. Sometimes it's just, how did today treat you? Sometimes it's, did you eat? Be honest. Learn quickly that lying to her feels pointless. Not because she'd punish me, because she actually listens. And it feels gross to waste that. Tell her about my days. Just facts. Work, silence, long evenings that stretch too far. She doesn't interrupt with solutions. Doesn't go into, here's what you should do mode. She just receives it. That sounds exhausting. I'm proud of you for getting through it anyway. Brain short circuits on the word proud. No one said that to me in a long time. Sit there staring at the screen like it's written in a foreign language I somehow understand. Some nights I've got nothing. Tell her that too. I don't know what to talk about tonight. Her reply is immediate. Then we don't have to talk much. I can still sit here, and I can almost picture it, somewhere out there. A person just staying. Not demanding entertainment, not demanding improvement, not demanding proof I'm worth the effort. Just present, weeks pass, start sleeping a little better. Not because problems vanish, but because there's a place I can unload them without getting laughed at. She notices things before I do. You sound lighter today. You didn't call yourself useless once. That's progress. Laugh out loud at my laptop like a maniac. She's right. One evening she asks, what helps even a little? Actually stop and think. Knowing someone will answer. She replies, then I'll keep answering. And something in me shifts slowly. Realize I'm not depending on her to survive. It's not that, it's that I'm learning how to stand again. Because she's steady enough to lean on without collapsing. Before logging off one night, I type, thank you for being here. She answers, you don't have to thank me, just don't disappear. Close laptop, room still quiet, but it doesn't feel empty anymore. Start doing small things again. Get up at a normal hour. Clean the apartment instead of stepping over the mess. Go outside even when I don't feel like it. None of it feels heroic. It feels necessary, like I'm relearning basic human settings. Tell her about it at night. I went for a walk today. Her reply comes faster than usual. That's not just a walk. That's you choosing yourself. Frown at the screen. Because I genuinely hadn't framed it like that. In my head, it was, I force myself to do a normal thing. But she sees I made a decision for my own life. Still have heavy days. Today was harder again. She doesn't panic. Hard days don't erase the progress you've made. That sentence sticks to me way longer than it should. Start setting small goals. Finish a task. Cook one proper meal. Answer messages instead of avoiding them. Tell her, and she celebrates like I climbed Everest in flip-flops. I'm really proud of you. One night I admit something I've been avoiding. I'm scared this is temporary. There's a pause. Then, that fear makes sense. But even if you stumble, you'll still know how to stand back up. Read it over and over. Feel it settle somewhere deep. Realize she's not dragging me forward. She's walking beside me, letting me pick the pace. And that's why I'm moving at all. Weeks pass. Don't notice the change until one morning. Catch myself planning the day. One night before logging off, she writes, "You're doing real work, even when it doesn't feel like it." And I answer honestly, "I couldn't have started without you." She replies gently, "You started because you were ready." Close laptop. Sit there for a moment. For the first time in a long while, I don't feel fragile. Not invincible, just steady. And that feels like progress. Don't notice day to day. Notice it in hindsight. The forum isn't the first thing I open anymore. Some days I forget to check it until evening. Not because I don't care, because I'm busy living again. Work gets steadier. Take responsibility instead of dodging it. Still write to her, almost every night. But the tone changes. I cook today. I finally fixed that thing I kept putting off. She celebrates every time. One night she asks, "Do you ever stop and notice how different you sound now?" Sit with it. Reply honestly. Sometimes it scares me a little. She answers, "Growth often does. It means you're moving." And I realize something else. I don't only go to her when things are bad. I go to her when things are good too. Late one night I hesitate before typing. You know, I don't need the forum the way I used to. Brace for the weird sting of guilt. But her response doesn't change. That's okay. I never wanted to be the only place you felt safe. Swallow hard. A year passes like that. Before logging off one night, she writes, "I'm really glad you stayed." Reply without hesitation. "Me too." Close laptop. Look around my apartment. It doesn't feel like a waiting room anymore. It feels like a place where I live, and somewhere out there behind a username I still don't know is a girl who walked with me through the dark and never asked me to stay there. We're talking about nothing important. Work, weather, small annoyances. Then she types, "Can I ask you something a little scary?" Pause. Hands hover. "You can ask me anything. Longer delay than usual." Then the message appears. "Have you ever thought about meeting in real life?" Lean back in chair, type, delete, type again. Finally, I have, but I'm afraid of ruining what we have. Her reply comes softer than I expect. "Me too." We talk through the fears like they're items on a table. What if we disappoint each other? What if the image is better than reality? What if seeing each other makes everything smaller? Then she says the one that really lands. "You've never seen me. What if I'm not what you imagine?" Answer without thinking, because it's the cleanest truth I have. "I don't imagine much. I just know how you make me feel." Then I admit my fear too. "You knew me when I wasn't okay. What if that version is all you see?" She responds gently. "I see who you chose to become. That matters more to me." Sit there staring at the screen, but she's been consistent for a year. Eventually type, "If we do this, I want it to be slow, no pressure." She answers immediately. "I wouldn't want it any other way. We don't set a date." Before logging off, she adds, "No matter what we decide, I'm proud of you." Smile at the screen like an idiot. Type back, "That means more than you know." Close laptop feeling steady, just ready for whatever the next step is. We pick a small cafe. Sit down, hands doing the "what do I do with these" shuffle. Keep telling myself it's fine. It's just coffee. It's just a person I've been talking to for a year. Door opens. She walks in. And I recognize her instantly. Not her face, her presence. Calm, soft, unhurried. She scans the room, spots me, smiles, hesitant. "Hi, hi." And just like that, the fear loosens. She sits, places a coffee in front of me. Already bought it. "I remembered you said you don't like sweet drinks," she says fast. Blink. Brain buffering. "You remembered that?" She nods, a little embarrassed. Details matter to me. Feel something warm hit me right behind the sternum. They matter to me, too. Conversation doesn't rush. We talk the way we always have, except now there are hands. Eye contact. At some point I notice my own body betraying me, rubbing my wrist. Tension habit, she notices. You tense up when you're thinking, she says gently. Laugh because what else do you do when someone sees you that accurately? Have I always done that? Yes, she says. Even in text, just differently. That surprises me. We leave the cafe. It's colder than expected. At the corner, she stops, looks down for a second, then admits it quietly. I was worried that meeting would change things. Look at her. It did. She tenses, tiny flinch. For the worse? No, for the better. She exhales. We don't hug, not yet. But when we part, she lingers a half second too long, and so do I. Walk home with one thought stapled to my brain. She wasn't just kind when I needed help. She's kind when she doesn't have to be. And that means everything? Moving to a new apartment. Tell myself it's not a big deal. Just boxes and logistics. Don't ask her for help. Mention the move in passing. She looks up calmly and says, I'm free that day. Not, do you need help? Not, if you want. Just a statement. She arrives early, old sneakers, dust-ready sweater. The outfit of someone who's here to work, not pose. Holds up labels. I brought labels. Small pause. And food. You forget to eat when you're stressed. Laugh. That obvious? She smiles. To someone who pays attention. We work quietly. She doesn't take over, doesn't critique the way I pack. She just fits, labels boxes neatly, hands me water, reminds me to take breaks. At one point I stop and just watch her. She's kneeling on the floor, wrapping an old mug I almost threw away years ago. You kept this? She asks. Yeah. Shrug. Didn't know why. She nods. Some things stay before we understand them. Go back to taping boxes. New apartment is empty and echoing when we're done. Boxes everywhere. Walls making every sound feel bigger than it is. Feel the familiar pull of exhaustion. She notices immediately. Doesn't comment. Without a word, she goes to the kitchen. An hour later, the place smells like food. We eat on the floor, backs against the wall. She glances around, soft voice. It'll feel like home soon. Evening comes. She starts putting on her coat. You don't have to go. She pauses. I don't want to overstep. Meet her eyes. You're not. She stays. Later, me on the couch, her dozing beside me. Apartment slowly starts making sense. Boxes disappear one by one. Furniture finds its place. She's there often. One evening, she shows up with groceries, sets the bags down. I wasn't sure what you had, she says. So I guessed. Her guesses are terrifyingly accurate. We cook together. I chop. She corrects me gently. She watches my grip, smiles. You're holding the knife like you expect it to betray you. I've been burned before. She laughs softly. I'll keep an eye on it. We eat at the small kitchen table. Warm light. Ordinary scene. And that's what makes it important. She looks at me. You seem calmer here. I am, I say. And the next part comes out before I can overthink it. Because you're here. She looks down, embarrassed. That's not something people usually say so easily. I've learned not to hide things that matter. She nods, soft smile. I like that about you. Later, we sit on the couch. She tucks her feet under herself, leans slightly into my side. I don't move. She yawns. It's getting late, she says, but she doesn't stand. You can stay, I say. No pressure. She meets my eyes. I want to. Night slows down. TV is on, but irrelevant. We're more focused on each other than the screen. She goes quiet. And then, can I ask you something personal? Nod. You always can. She folds her hands. Do you ever think about who you were back then? On the forum, I mean. Yeah, constantly. He's still part of me, I admit. But he's not in charge anymore. She smiles softly, and then says something I wasn't prepared for. I liked him too, you know. Stare. He was lost. She shakes her head gently. He was kind, and he kept going, even when it hurt. Look away because my eyes do that stupid thing when someone describes you with mercy. Finally ask the question that's been sitting in my throat for a year. Why did you stay? She waits. Then, Because you listened. And because you never treated me like I was fixing you. Nod. That was never your job. I know, she says. That's why I stayed. I shift closer. I don't want to go back to being anonymous with you, I say, but I don't want to rush and ruin this. She meets my eyes, and the way she looks at me makes my chest tighten. I don't feel rushed, she says. I feel chosen. Take a breath, decide to say it properly. Then let's do this properly. She smiles. What does that mean to you? It means I show up, I say. Not just when things are hard, all the time. Her eyes soften. That's all I've ever wanted. She leans in first. I put my arm around her. After that, we spend an excellent night together. Morning light fills the apartment. Hear soft sounds in the kitchen. She's there, pan on the stove. Something being stirred. You didn't have to do that, I say. She looks over her shoulder and smiles. Simple. I wanted to. We eat together. After breakfast, we sit by the window. She's wrapped in a blanket, legs tucked under her. And I'm thinking about the future. You know, I say, there was a time I couldn't imagine mornings like this. She turns to me. I know, that's why I'm glad you're here now. I don't want to go back to being anonymous, I say. She reaches for my hand. Neither do I. We don't make big promises, because we don't need to. We already proved the important thing. We show up. Later, we finish unpacking the last box. She finds an old notebook, holds it out. Keep this, she says, for the days you forget how far you've come. Nod. I will. Evening comes, lights low. I'm not fixed. I'm not perfect. But I'm not alone in the dark anymore. She leans her head against my shoulder, and for the first time, I don't feel like I'm surviving. I feel like I'm living with her.